Hey there, and welcome to the Call to Cinema. My name is Aaron, and I'm actually supposed to be at a conversation watching Champagne right now at the Marrakesh Film Festival, but I wasn't feeling the greatest today, and I decided I'd stay home and I'd spend some time here doing some work and talking to all of you guys there. So we're going to be talking about state of collecting in 2024, looking at a lot of the companies that are out there and the stuff that's being put out, how things are changing. Hey there, Maddie. Glad to see you here. And I'm probably going to be getting a drink at some point because my voice is a little raspy. And I got a feeling, am I losing my voice? For those that are subscribed to my Patreon, the Crimson Cast video magazine went up today. And sorry it was a couple days late, but I was traveling. So it's up there now. And for those that don't know, over this month, December is going to be a pretty packed month. I did a bunch of out and abouts when I was in St. John's. There's going to be at least, hey there, George, welcome, man. There's going to be at least one out and about every week, maybe more this month. It's going to culminate with an ending video of hey there, Victor, with a bunch of haul videos, and that with that, there's also going to be every week. I went to a comic shop, and the local comic shop there. I bought these mystery comic bags, and I'll be doing mystery unboxings. And there's some pretty surprising things that came out of those bags. So you're going to get at least one out and about and one mystery unbagging every week for all of December, not including my regular videos and my review of the latest David Cronenberg movie, The Shrouds. Hey, and ready, which I just got to see, and if you are a Patreon member, you'll also get to see a part of the David Cronenberg tribute because I was able to capture some footage of that thanks to my better half. So there's a whole lot of stuff going on this month with a ton more happening. Uh, with that being said, I kind of wanted to get into it. We just got over two big sales, the Vinegar Syndrome sale and the Severance sale. I guess there's more, right? There's like Make Flicks had a sale, and MVD Studios had a sale. Amazon had their Black Friday sale. Black Friday happened, and I got a bunch of stuff, and we'll be talking about looking at that over the next few days. One thing I can tell you I picked up because it's video game related, and a lot of you guys don't care about video game stuff that I do, was that I finally was able to grab at a decent price. I got Elden Ring, which is good because the video game awards are happening next week, and Elden Ring with its new downloadable content is probably going to win again. So it won in 2022, and I got a feeling Elden Ring is being set up to win for 2024. But hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the last few months, in here in the channel. But let's talk about collecting. Let's talk about how expensive and how unique things are getting right now. I love collecting physical media, and that is going to change. I'm not going to stop like collecting stuff that I like. Now, things have changed for me. I've been put in a unique situation where I live in an area where I get on a plane to anytime I want to collect physical media. I go to, either I'm going to Canada, which is a long plane ride, or I go to Paris or France or upcoming, hopefully, I'll get to go to England. Um, I'd love to go to Scotland. So there's so many places that I would love to check out. Just got some 75% off section just as some discs I wanted. And the 75% off section is excellent, but it's excellent because you're in the United States. And that's something to kind of talk about is as I'm learning, one of the most important things is location, location, location. it changes things. Um, I get a bit more excited now um, when I hear that Fantaterra is putting out a release than I do for some of the more mainstream boutique labels. But one thing that I noticed when I went home, because I went to Sunrise almost like almost on a daily basis, and if you've seen there's the Sunrise video is going to be the last one coming up this month. If you're a patron member, you've already seen it. It's in the Crimson Cast thing. Uh, or if you're a regular channel member, you still see it. It's coming up at the end of the month. Um, because I go through Sunrise, like really go through I show you guys absolutely every section, like in the movie sections. I go through the entire all the shelves and everything. There's I ended up going to Value Village a lot more than I intended to, and I realized something. I really, really like thrifting, and I've gotten into I've been watching TikTok recently, basically because I'm on the go and to tend to these shorter videos I can watch. And there's a few people over there that have gotten back into media collecting that went to streaming and have gotten back into collecting physical media. But what's been refreshing about it and has been amazing is that they don't give a crap if what label it comes from. They just want to watch the things that you want to watch and want to own it. So they're going out and thrifting like DVD and they're thrifting, whatever. But format doesn't matter. Uh, a lot of times the features that don't matter. They're glad if they're there, but they're going out and they're picking up stuff and in local thrift shops and places, and it's refreshing because when you're watching them that they're not they're not showing you just they're not just showing you a label. Um, it's you get worried as you go through that that it- there's sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, so I'm like calling me out on this, not anybody else. That it becomes to the point where you're collecting the label more than you're collecting the film, and when does that kind of become a problem? When does that become more of a clout chasing than it does like cinephile? And I've always been a cinephile. It's always been about like the films, watching the films and rewatching things that I love, and like opening myself up to new ideas and new films. Um, that's what it's been for me. That's why I go to film festivals. That's why I review movies on my channel that you're not going to see people reviewing on other channels. That's why you see documentaries like Rusty and Stone being reviewed on my channel when you know that's not going to be anywhere else. Because I love watching films and I love collecting films, and I get worried. And I did for a while. I got into the point where it didn't matter so much what the movie was, as opposed to what was on that spine, what the number was on that spine, what the company was on that spine. And heaven forbid, like there is like now before I go any further, I have to preface this. There is no wrong way, unless you're a scalper, then screw you. But there is no real wrong way to collect physical media. Like the way you do it, uh, works for you, that's wonderful. I'm not going to tell anybody how to collect. That's not my job. I am here to hopefully pass on some physical media love and some cinema love and talking about gaming and all this stuff. That's the thing. We're all here because we love collecting, and everybody collects in their own special way. And I think it evolves and changes throughout time. Like for me, George, like I have, I've got the condo. I've got another place, so I have space. Like space doesn't isn't normally an issue for me, but it's what I want to put in the space in whatever space I'm at the time. Um, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that everything that comes into my onto my shelf right now is curated extremely well. Now, I bought something that started for nostalgia factor and turned out to be really good, and it's going to become a video for me. That's a bonus. But I don't collect for the channel. I collect for me, and I hope that, and I talk about it and put my love of collecting across on the channel. We'll talk about like Venison and partner label thing. Don't worry, I know a lot of you guys are going to want to talk about that. But the biggest thing for me right now is to be able to get things that I like, that I enjoy, and to responsibly do it, to not get stuck in FOMO. And I worry that in the past, I covered so many sales and I covered so much stuff. And I do still want to be able to cover the sales and all the stuff because I want to keep you informed, but I want to do it responsibly. Um, I'm not going to be a chance going to show you like every physical media thing that's out there and make you feel like you got to get it because you don't. You got to get what you like, and it can get overwhelming. It can get taxing. It can get expensive. It can take up space that maybe you don't have, and it can get stressful and frustrating. And the last thing that I want to do is get stressful and frustrating. I wanted to pick up looking for Mr. Goodbar during the sale. I wanted to pick up Sliver during the sale. They were costly though. I'm a bit too costly for me right now. Not and not in the fact of like, oh, I can't afford that, but in the fact of like it was like a cost ratio type thing to do with everything that I got. And I was getting so much stuff and I was thrifting such great deals on such on stuff that it just really didn't work for me. Yeah, they're like you can blind buy. Yeah, that's the thing. You can blind buy something for for $2 or $5 or even $10. But when you're blind buying something at 60 to $70, um, because okay, we'll get into it. The Keep was recently put out. It's a Michael Mann film, and it's finally out there. It's sold out, which absolutely blows my mind. I'm not gonna lie. Um, it's an okay film, and your mileage will vary depending on how much you like this film or want to see this film. But I do think that there's going to be a significant portion of buyers that are buying or bought the film just because it's not available. Really, not because it's it's like a man, not because it's like their favorite. The Tangerine Dream score is really good, um, but honestly, it's an okay film. It's not for me. Now there's gonna be people that love Keep. It's gonna have its like fan base that are out there. Do I think that everybody that bought the Keep bought it because they love the film? No. Uh, go to eBay. Go to eBay right now and look and search up the Keep, and you'll see where a portion of people bought it on. They bought they went in, they put on different accounts, they bought extra copies so they could go out and like flip them on eBay. So because Vinegar Syndrome stuff, once it sells out, the limited editions get pricey. Those people are slime. Those people are kind of are the worst part of collecting and curating. They make it harder on people that like actually legitimately. There's people who love the film that want it that probably didn't get it because some jackass uh, decided that they wanted to get like 8 copies and put them up on eBay. Uh, those people suck. That's the worst thing because those people not only do they go out and inflate the market, but they inflate the numbers, and that's important because I come from like collecting a collecting background. I collected comics, I've collected cards, and I've seen the bubbles break and burst on all these things. Um, and it happens because people come in just to make money and to speculate. They're speculators, what they call. Hey, there's Sammy. Welcome, man. And the speculators that come in, uh, unfortunately, skew the numbers. And when that happens, hey, Grant, I haven't actually, but I've heard great stuff about them. I love Lauren Hardy, and I used to watch Little Rascals when I was a kid a lot. I don't think I've got any Little Rascals in my collection. I really should. Um, but they skew the numbers so bad that companies unfortunately tend to go out and like put out things or to put things in a direction that it makes it harder on people that actually are that love this stuff. Let's look at where things have gone. Let's look at the prices of things right now. Let's look at one of the biggest offenders. And I like this company. Uh, so I really hate saying this, but everything doesn't have to be a special mega blockbuster edition. So I'm looking at you, Umbrella Entertainment, and companies like that that just that everything has like 75 books, like, have books and posters and postcards and merch and stuff. That's great for like, and I know that there's that like the saying like what some movies it's somebody's favorite movie, but let me put it to you this way. Hold on, I'll break that back. So on my channel before Cligma the Ultimate Cut came out, was still doing the festival circuit. I got to see the film early, and I also got to speak to the guy that put it together. And they put out massive editions of the film. I have this. It says Cligma the Ultimate Cut, unobstructed view. It doesn't have the X-rated cut. I've already got that from years ago. From 9 chance out of 10, if you like Caligula, you've got that edition anyway. But it does come with a different like theatrical cut of the film that I hadn't like previously seen. It was just like had some like the X-rated scenes cut out of it. So that was kind of interesting. It was a different cut for me, and it did have the ultimate cut, which is if you're buying Caligula, that's what you should be buying it. The ultimate cut. I'm guessing you're buying it because you want the ultimate cut. You want the best cut of the film, which is what that this is. Um, I don't care to have or even bother with wanting to have the Umbrella Edition. One, the audio was off, and two, it was a lot that I probably wasn't going to get through. I love Caligula, but am I going to be watching every single edition of Caligula like ad nauseum? No, probably not. And this has a commentary with Grant Morrison. Enough said. Um, Thomas Negavan and Grant Morrison do a commentary that, as at this point, is exclusive to this. So if you buy the big edition, which if you love the film and you like big editions, that's great. You still don't get the commentary, and it's Grant Morrison, guys. It's like the one of the gods of comic books. And if that matters, then you're going to want that. So you're going to go buy the special edition, then you're going to buy this edition because you want that extra commentary. And that's that's the thing. This is doesn't have the loads of features that the other one has. This is, we know what this does. It fits comfortably in my shelf. Um, it has the movie that I wanted, Caligula the Ultimate Cut. Bonus that matters to me. No frills, no maybe no super extras that I don't need. And it is wonderful to have some of that stuff or to put bundles or packages together, especially if you're a company that's working on like hopefully promoting a title that you really want to get out there. Uh, that's important, but it's getting to like getting to the crux of it, going getting to what's important to the film and what's needed. And you can can disagree with me. That's wonderful. That's why I said everybody collects in their own way, and there's going to be more people are going to have that big blah, 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 Caligula set in their collection. They're going to have this. I know people that when they realize that they didn't have the X-rated cut of Caligula on it, they cancel right away. Like the commentary didn't matter to them. They wanted that other cut of Caligula, and so the commentary didn't matter to them. Didn't matter to you? Let me know. Let me know which Caligula you got. This is Canadian and North American, so I'm going to guess if you live in the UK or something like that, Umbrella's your choice anyway. But with that being said, that was just give you an example of the fact that there's been so much that's coming out there right now, and the prices are getting exorbitant. They really are for a lot of titles. Now there's some, and but then I know they're putting in like a ton of work in, and the fact is that what's happening for a lot of this stuff is it is a time when prices are going to go up. And I understand if it's especially like smaller companies. If if I'm looking at a title coming out from what are some of the small ones now? Well, like Television or Culture Shock or 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 not so much ratings. They've kind of gotten big at this point, haven't they? But companies like that, then I can understand if the price seems a little bit like more like bigger. W- Then it comes to titles like companies like Sony and stuff like that, who put stuff out sometimes at great prices, but sometimes like the Columbia Classics, like the newer sets. George knows this. George has it. Uh, George got the moolah for it. They're pricey, uh, unless you're lucky enough to go in at a wonderful like price point. I picked up Columbia Classics Volume 3. That'll soon be sold out, so get it if you don't have it. And when I was in Canada for $66. And, with I think the actual price point for Columbia Classics, Volume 3 was somewhere around, let's just see what the MSRP was. Maybe 100, somewhere like that. The latest Columbia Classic set will cost you, like in Canada, for instance, around $250. Like, let that sink in for a second. $250. That's a chunk of change. Um, like you could get a director like a set of like a whole bunch of stuff for that price. And I love the Columbia Classic sets. I want to have them all. So much so that I got sent one from Sony when they were working with us in Canada before they got all. To be honest with you, pretty crappy. I got treated pretty crappy by Sony at the end. Um, but I put my money where my mouth was, and I'm saying like, this is a really great set. I love everything about the set that they sent me, and I went and I bought Volume 3, and I will buy the other volumes when I can buy them. Um, like business is different from like what I what I want to enjoy. I'm just not going to change that. I'll still buy stuff from Sony. Just be disappointed with some of their people that are in and they kind of like getting in contact with people part of it. We'll talk about that one of these days. Actually, we'll do maybe I'll do like one. I'll have to do my Patreon actually. I'll talk to you about like some of my experiences working with different companies over the years because I can tell you some stories. Yeah, some are good and some are going to be like, oh yeah, that's quite the story. Everybody collects in their own way. I've got to the point now where I have to curate what I want to get, and it's more about space than anything else. It's going to be more about space than. Let's see if anybody put a comment there and I didn't notice it, but you guys are so quiet. And I don't mean spaces in my house. I mean spaces in my suitcase because everything that I buy when I'm traveling, and that's where the space counts for me. It's not am I going to have enough space to put it on my shelf? I got lots of shelves. It's going to be am I going to have enough space? Am I going to be able to put this through the suitcase? I wanted to get the Shaw Brothers set. They had like kind of like erotic whatever kind of set in that came out recently from a Shout Factory, and it looked really cool. But I was traveling from Canada back to Morocco, and I didn't know like if like the way the back of the set looked, that was going to be a bit of a customs nightmare. So that like kind of like stopped me from grabbing that set. It wasn't something that I could pick up. So it got me to thinking what I want to pick up. So Radiance, I know you guys saw the video, put out the Gothic set with the three ghost stories, bloody brain stuff. I missed out on volume 1 and 2 as well. I'm so peeved because they're such good volumes. And the thing is, all the stuff, like mostly, I think a couple came out separately, but almost everything in the Columbia Classics collections, um, every single one of them are exclusive to the set in that format. And if they get taken and put out separately, they're usually uber expensive anyway on their own. And they literally like just have like, and they have features on them that may not carry over into the next release. I sat down and watched Annie last night in 4K, which is bloody brilliant. Anybody that like gave crap to Annie, like screw you guys. Annie's an amazing film. Uh, and I was like just transferred back to my youth, and I'm watching it. I love the fact there's a the first version of Annie that ever came out, 1932 Little Orphan Annie film, is included as well, which I have yet to watch. We got to watch that. Um, to see like that stuff put in there, I think Volume Three, like for me, George, so far that have had the I haven't checked it the features set for Volume Five really well yet, uh, because at the time I was having like issues with Sony, um, and but I but Volume Three is, as far as I've seen so far, it looks to have had like the most loaded features that I've seen of all the sets. The extra like TV films and movies and sequels and all this type of stuff, and having like pilots and mini series, that's incredible. Um, Hopefully they'll either. I would like to see them re-release the Columbia Classic sets. I'm not sure if they will, but I'd rather see them re-release the sets than have to see them just release them separately. Um, at a decent price point. Because for those that don't know, the sets are pretty amazing. Tell you what, I'll bring down a volume in a second. I'll show you guys what I mean. Because if you bought it in the UK, if you bought it like George did, and you bought it in North America, there is a significant difference. Yeah, not in what's on it, but how it's partially packaged. And George already knows what I'm talking about. Malcolm's not here today, but he'd know as well. He would he'd be on screen cursing about it. But he's probably playing video games right now. So we there's special features on things like Lauren Hardy, Keaton, Chaplin, that era, plus Hammer Films, John Carpenter. He looked like that's right. Yeah, he's still not feeling well. We were talking last night actually. Yeah, like some stuff gets insanely priced. So I'll grab the Columbia sets. I'll be right back. And we got so much more to talk about. Um, so be right back. So this is the Columbia Classic set Volume 3 from North America. It is a gorgeous looking set. Now, one thing I will tell you is that it is foil on here, so it is prone to like some surface scratches. So you have to be very careful. And when you open up the set itself, you get this big book. I think it's around 80 pages. And the movies are here like this. So let's show you one of the films on here, for instance. This is It Happened One Night. One of my favorite films. One of my cousin's favorite films, too. We'll always have like a kind of a blurb on the back. This one's from Leonard Maltin. And when you open it up, you have very different artwork from the slipcover, which I absolutely love. But here's the thing. If you buy a UK edition of this, you get this. So the slipcovers, if you're a slipcover person, or if that's something that matters to you, this doesn't exist for UK editions of the film. For some reason, they chose not to, or they don't, or they're not allowed to put the slipcovers of them. So every one of these here. So George, you get see slipcovers now. This is a slip for Happened One Night, to Sir with Love. My favorites, From Here to Eternity. This is a really great set, by the way. Like an extraordinarily good set. And I thought about getting the UK editions of them, but it was the one time the slipcovers did matter to me, because you don't normally. There's Annie. Saw the movie theater when I was a kid. As Good as It Gets. You Make Me Want to Be a Better Man. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Last Picture Show. Absolutely everything on this set is wonderful, and all films that I want. There isn't something in this set. And when I got to like relook at As Good as It Gets as well, there's nothing in the set that I didn't want. Nothing in the set I did not want to own. Inside of this one, by the way, and inside of all of them, there's this book as well. It's a Columbia Classics book. And it's really good because I enjoy write-ups on films when they're done well. I've already talked about the thing of like having superfluous stuff and not caring about like that. But I don't think this is. I think this is a good runner in the back, hidden right there. And I was noticing when I was watching some unboxings for this when it came out, people were forgetting to check this out. It is it's a bonus disc. And so see, just From Here to Eternity was a TV series for a season. But before the TV series, there was a 5-hour miniseries in 1979, the year before the TV series came out. It's actually the reason TV series became a thing. And it's included here on Blu-ray, actually, bonus Blu-ray disc. It's a great, well put together, well produced set. And the people that worked on this should be extremely proud of what they did. But I'm not proud of the way I'm trying to get this back in. I'm dropping everything. But mostly it's because I'm, well, over here. This is what happens when you're live, guys. All right. Some people leave when I drop that. The nerve of them. Those bastards. But yeah, it's gorgeously produced. It's wonderfully done. It's a beautiful set. But this should not be this doesn't have to be the norm. Sometimes I feel like, because they feel that casuals aren't or weren't buying enough, that we have to pay for that by sometimes overly produced editions of releases. Some of the best stuff that I got when I was in Canada didn't have a label name on it, or if they did, it was like something old school, the old Anchor Bay stuff, the Roger Donaldson set. Oh, you'll see about that in an upcoming video. But just some really, really cool stuff. But let's look at the partner label stuff right now. So yeah, I can show you guys what's out there. And I'm going to be bluntly honest on releases that I like, that I don't like, that doesn't matter to me. Uh, I want to do anytime my dad wants to do a live stream on here, it is more than welcome. I love doing live streams with my dad. He's extremely knowledgeable, Graham, when it comes to movies, and he knows his stuff very well. It is hard getting him on camera sometimes, uh, but it is just so cool when he does, and I always enjoy it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Graham will get him on soon. You like Volume 4 because of the Starman on 4K TV series. That is actually a really good bonus feature. Um, so we're looking at, is this the new stuff? I hate when they don't say that. They used to have the thing like, okay, this is the new stuff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'm assuming this is new stuff anyway. Um, so it looks like there's a new partner label called Brainstorm Media. It's the Matt Smith film. This is my first time looking at this, guys. So I didn't look at it last night or when this started. So it looks like art label. It's got a little more flesh. Love the cover. What are we looking at here? It's got feature and commentary by Alexander Heller Nicholas. Feature commentary by the director. Bonus film. Oh, the sequel. Um, I don't know much about this one here. 2019. I haven't seen it. Uh, but the commentary super intrigues me. My dad's a super nice guy. I'm lucky in that I have some incredible parents, and my dad, my mom, stepmom, and yeah, I'm lucky. Well, family wise, I'm lucky. um, and I definitely, my grandparents were amazing. They raised me. I wish they would have been around for this. They unfortunately passed before I got. My grandfather passed before I even started this channel, and my grandmother, in like her later time, was able to when she was home, she would like my mom would put on these videos for her, and she'd watch them and watch me on there. So that was kind of cool. American Genre Film Archives, Bloodorama Triple Fright Night 2. What do we got here? Love Goddesses of Blood Island. Follow That Skirt. Undertaker and His Pals. Um, I bet you somebody's going to go nuts for this stuff. 43. Holy jeez. I like it. I don't know if I 43 like it. You know what I mean? A little more flesh directed by Sam S. First, he co-hosts the Arrow Video Podcast. Oh wow, I listen to the Arrow Video Podcast. Film Movement Classics put out Candy Mountain. Not big on like the people that are in it. Not super big on the cover, but it's at least a little bit better priced, I think. Dark Stars, Carnage for Christmas is out. Uh, Satanic Panic? Okay. Don't know that. Film Movement Classics, Cash Calls Hell. I got a feeling Malcolm knows this one better than me. Oh, we're at one here. We're in my wheelhouse. Chris Claremont's X-Men. I actually watched this documentary. I think back on Tubi back that day, actually. Um, it's actually a really good documentary. I'm a massive fan, of course, of comic books, and I really like Chris Claremont's initial run on X Men. Is Extreme X Men a secondary run? It's not as like the world defining, but it's hard to be world defining like that second time around. Um, but it's I love the case. But we got to get over the slipcovers, guys. We really do. um, Close Your Eyes, another film movement release. The Coffee Table. People keep asking me with this one. This is a Shutter original, right? Pretty sure this is a Shutter release. Which I have yet to see. Jesus and Maria are a couple going through a difficult time in their relationship. Nevertheless, they have just become parents. To shape their new life, they decided to buy a new coffee table, a decision that would change their existence. See, that does sound interesting to me. Dad and stepdad, no budge, no budget films. Is that what they mean? Or like lower budget releases? I found myself getting more into like kind of more personal films recently. Stuff that kind of really stand out to me. Death Laughs Among Us, the complete works of John Schnell. You got Saturn's Core, Dogs in Quicksand, Hippo from Memory. Not big on the just black back cover of a case. Kuso by Shutter. Don't like the cover. Hundreds of Beavers has a hilariously great cover. The Line. Maybe It's Love. No Home movie. Chantal Ackerman. I love Chantal Ackerman, so that's a good one right there. We got Orders here. Well, it's a new Canadian International Pictures. Let's see this. Is this? We're looking at a Montreal one here, Ontario. What do we got? Probably Montreal, right? Yeah. Definitely. Following the shocking kidnapping of two prominent political figures in October 1970, Canada's federal government invokes the War Measures Act, an extreme law that strips citizens of their most fundamental human rights. Over the course of several weeks, talk about kind of like timely now, with what happened in Korea. Over the course of several weeks, 450 suspecting Quebecois are abruptly ripped from their homes and imprisoned without formal charges or explanations. Told through the eyes of five prisoners subjected to abuse and humiliation that borders on torture, Orders is an unsettling, unforgettable immersion in one of the most dystopian chapters in Canadian history. Yeah, that is 100% as Austin Powers would say, that is my bag, man. That is the type of stuff I watch. I got to dive into CIP. The Sacrifice Game, it's another Shutter one here. We got Starvacre. This is the new label, Brainstorm Media. I think I've seen this movie actually. We got Yellow Veil, Sweet Sweet Lonely Girl. There's some Yellow Veil stuff that's probably going to be coming that I'm actually kind of interested in because they put out some very interesting stuff. Yellow Veil is one of those labels that definitely intrigued me. I remember when they put it Knocking. I think I'm pretty sure what's the name of it. Oh, yeah. I heard somebody mention this to me. So CIP made this smart idea of putting up bundles, which is great for people that don't have stuff. So the Larry Kent's Vancouver bundle is here. Bitter Ash When Tomorrow Dies and Sweet Substitute. There's the Tales for All bundle, which is kind of like the ones you can watch the kids films. This is actually a nice bundle because we got The Dog Who Stopped the War, The Great Land of Small, and The Christmas Martian. And there's some pretty eclectic films, like Canadian family films, that I can definitely recommend. The Dog Who Stopped the War, 100%. That's a good bundle for that price too. It's actually pretty good. 64.24. No, look at that. You get some like 4K releases that cost more than that, like on a regular basis. I'm sure we've seen some stuff here during the sale that will cost more than that. We got a Twisted Twittering Souls from the Conlog, 20,000 Species of Bees from Film Movement, Aladdin. We're back into the month before now, I think. But up top, there. Well, yeah, up, it follows on the other one up top here. You normally have the probably same bottom one for this one, like the sale, like 40% off, 50% off, all that type of thing. And there has been some good titles. Did they? I did not know that. Let's go. Want to check them out? Radiant sent us some new titles. Let's see what Radiant's got. I am excited about. Okay, are these it? Dirty Artists. That's one of their books. So we got Rulers of the City, which was Fernando de Herrero. So I already own this. Um, Good film. The Eel. Je t'aime. French films. That's actually a bit more interesting to me. Hard Boiled Three Pulp Thrillers by Alain Corneau. This is actually kind of cool. The Debt to Dirty Harry and Jean-Pierre Melville, Alain Corneau directed these three tough thrillers with a strain of wicked humor and pulpy roots. Police Python 357, Série Noire, and Choices of Arms. So, yep, definitely down with that. And I do like the case on that one. And I know their cases are good now because I do have one of their releases. Was that last month? Nope. What happened was um, Tom Noonan. Okay, yeah. But is that this last month? Oh, this is Nomad, and My Heart is the Eternal Rose. I like all. I started with the classic stuff because obviously I'm older. But I'm loving the new series, Doctor Who. Shurigatwa is incredible in the role, and I really wish Jodie Whittaker would have had an extra season or two, actually. But I guess get Shooty now while he's young because I got a feeling this guy's going to do big stuff. Like they won't keep him for Doctor Who for a long period of time, so they might as well shoot as much as they can right now. Because once that guy's gone, he's going to be doing other things. But I love all the Doctor Who's, and I don't think I've got a Doctor that I don't like. My least favorite when I was growing up was actually Peter Davison, who I've definitely come around to, especially with the audios from Big Finish. And my favorite was Tom Baker, and I did love Colin Baker's take on the Doctor, and that fell even more in love with Colin Baker's work as on Doctor when they decided to do the series. And these are good. Ratings got some good releases. I don't. I spoke with Malcolm last night. And we are talking about subscriptions and how that's tended to be one of the things right now. And I talked about it's kind of a disappointment with some of the releases, how hard some of that is, and how expensive it is to get if you live outside the United States, for instance. George can understand this actually. Like trying to getting a subscription to something like Vinegar Syndrome or one of the other companies just makes it really it's a bit of a barrier at this point. So for me personally, as a lover of film, I prefer not to go the subscription route and get the titles that I want to get. I do love the stuff that I got. Now, I'll be honest with you, George. I, there's other titles there, but at the cost ratio that they were, I couldn't grab it. Patrick Troughton was amazing. Uh, um, Here's the thing: the average ratings title in Canada was $53 for one film, and I spoke with Malcolm while I was there, and Malcolm loves Radiance. It's one of his favorite companies. And I like showed him a couple titles and I said, "Is this $53 worth?" He said, "It's a good movie. It's definitely a really good movie, but it's not a $53 movie." And I'm glad he said that. He was like just blunt. He said, "It's a good movie, but it's not $53 good." So I'll definitely pick up Radiant stuff when I can find it around at decent prices. And like, and now this rates any company right now when I can find them at good prices. When it's something that I really want, I will do what I recommend people do. If you see something that you really like, that's something that you really want, grab it. Support with your dollar, support that company, uh, putting out more of the stuff that you like. So if Ratings is putting out a bunch of stuff that you like, that's one to support. All right. On talk film for a moment because I recently picked up the edition of Peter Sellers' lone directorial effort, Mr. Topaz. Wonder how much they did before they became a partner label. Film movements have they been around for a have they been? I'm going to look it up because I think they've been around for a while. Yeah, 2003. So this is Film Movement's 21st year, and I'm going into 22nd year in business. Having grown from a DVD to the Month Club, which they kind of started as, the theatrical work that they worked on, but the Film Movement Classics is probably what they're. I'm looking right on Wikipedia, by the way. Just being honest with you guys. Um, it's refreshing to see that stuff. But yeah, they got a bit of a back catalog, and with some really interesting titles as well. There's a lot of companies out there that we don't realize, and they come into like something like a partner label, and we suddenly find them. If it's me, I usually find labels through travel. Um, that's where I found Fantaterra at. That's where I found some of the French like labels that I found. Um, that's where some of the kind of the different unique releases. Um, and I hope that there's physical media places out there, brick and mortar places we can get stuff and explore and find stuff ourselves. Now, more things are going online, and it does help. Like sometimes when you're going through a company or something like that, because you do get more, it's more revenue for them as opposed to like the cut that's taken from a brick and mortar store. But without the brick and mortar store being kept there, I don't know if we're going to have the same. When I went to Canada, I went to Walmart. They had a very limited amount of physical media, and they only had the regular stuff amount in on Black Friday. And that's where I picked up some stuff actually. That's but everybody was nobody. There used to be people like just surrounding like the movies and stuff when I'd go there on Black Friday. The people would be going through and stuff like that. But at the time that I went there, the Black Friday thing had just started, and I wasn't looking for stuff for me. I was trying to get stuff for my better half's little nephew. Um, so which hopefully you liked. I got him some monster truck stuff. But I saw people like circled around the game section, and that was where everything was. Everybody was going nuts, and controllers were on a decent price, but Elden Ring, one of the big games in the last couple of years, was like $30 and Canadian. So for those that don't know, Elden Ring normally costs in Canada anywhere between $80 to $100 to pick up. So it was a massive discount, and it's never discounted. And it's sold out. Like it was gone in seconds. Like people were just waiting to grab their copy, their PlayStation 4, their Xbox, like Series X, whatever copies that they wanted to grab. I didn't realize that until the next day, and I did go out actually and went to a Best Buy Express and grabbed my copy of Elden Ring. So I'm now uh, finally able to play that game, and it's really freaking good and super addictive. And what I was going to do before I came on here because I wanted to do a live video. And but more than anything else, what I wanted to do right now is really seriously talk to you guys about the future. It's been a scary time for me because I have, as much as I'm falling more in love with cinema and some labels that I was very like personally invested in. Um, I'm more iffy on. Prices have gotten to that spot where I'm like, all right, let's look. Can you imagine? Like, do you know here, a little behind the scenes, when I stopped sharing the screen from Radiance, uh, or sharing screen, and I came back to just me, I lost like 6 viewers. Seriously. Physical media is here. Physical media is here for a long time, and if anything else, we're learning, Graham, that the just the cableization of streaming, because that's what it's come down to, is that you're paying just as much now if you're buying all the streaming services you want, as if you went out and bought the physical media releases that you wanted to get. You're paying more. You want to get like want to watch certain shows. You got to get parent. You want to watch Community. You got to get what I think is Peacock, right? That's no longer on because you're not getting on Netflix. Let's say, do you want to watch wrestling? Well, you can watch part of it on Netflix starting in January, but some of it you're going to have to go to another channel to watch. So you may need another streaming service for that. Let's just say you want to watch like certain films and you want to watch certain series. So you got Apple Plus has some great shows. So you got to pick up Apple Plus, but there's some really good shows on Peacock and Paramount as well. So we're going to have to grab those, and you can't forget your Netflix subscription, right? And then there's certain movies that are put out by different studios, and you want to see that. Or you, and then for if you're a gamer, then if you got a PlayStation 5, for instance, or a PlayStation 4, you're probably going to want that premium or the PlayStation Plus. And if you're an Xbox gamer, then there's Game Pass. Um, so there's you've been like so much streaming stuff has been shoved in like down your throats, in your faces, and not only that, it is getting increasingly more expensive. So you know what I do now? Do you know what I decided to do? I decided, you know what? I'm not getting PlayStation Plus. I'm not getting Xbox Game Pass this year. You know what I'm going to get? I'm going to buy games that I can play either free online or what the play these, the actual open world story mode for free. Um, because I'm tired of having to pay extra for video games that I often get, and for some of them, I'm waiting for patches because they're broken. So I've decided to take my viewing experiences and my gaming experiences as offline as possible while I'm able to come online and talk to you guys about it. Um, so in 2025, there unless something happens, like and maybe or I have to or win something. Um, I really want to be able to like just like focus on the games that I want to play, to focus on the movies and the shows that I want to watch. And the easiest way to do that is to buy them, to grab them. Your local charity shops are an amazing place to go. Don't let yourself get caught up too much with buying um, everything that's out there because it will get expensive. You will the space that it takes up will be and I'm incredible. Which Dexter show? So they're making the new Dexter Resurrection, which is with the guy, and they're making the prequel series as well, which was pretty good. Two Dexter series coming out. But new game year. See, for me, when it's on a subscription, which is great if it works for you like that, and it worked for me for a while. But there'd be games coming every month, so I wasn't unless something really really caught me. I wasn't focusing on playing, finishing, or going through and really enjoying the games that I had because it was just a wealth of stuff that's out there, which is great for it. I find subscriptions are wonderful for finding new games, but it's not wonderful for actually enjoying new games. I like I'll wait till something goes on sale. I can wait because by that point anyway, you know what? It'll be patched anyway, so that way so at least it's a working edition. Like Elden Ring's been out for 2 years. I'm just starting to play it, and so then let me know because I lost connection there for a second. Um, but the thing for me right now, because like I said at the beginning of this video, there is no correct way to collect. The way that suits you, that makes you feel best, that makes you most comfortable, both space wise, financially, physically, that you do you. Oh, I did freeze. Yeah, I lost connection. Um, but that's why I stopped talking actually when I froze. Um, just came up on the screen. But for me, for this year, you're going to see me looking into collecting differently. I'm still gonna be looking at like the some of the big releases and big stuff that's out there. Hey there, Rafe. And then I'll be focusing and showing you guys like big releases coming out from different companies. And but I'll be focusing, I'll looking at some of the smaller companies. I'll be going to different places, hopefully next year, to look at releases, international releases, because I'm sure now that there's like looking for Mr. Goodbar out there that was probably going to be like an international release for looking for Mr. Goodbar, like there was with the Keep, right? So the Keep came out from Vinegar Syndrome, now the Keep's coming out from Imprint. And some people were like, said, how can they, I can't believe Imprint's putting out the Keep, and I just bought the Keep from Vinegar Syndrome. Here's the thing. I think that Imprint kind of did it nicely. Uh, oh, no, they still sell the adult titles. They just have a new website for it. It's called Millicene. So they just moved it into a different website. They don't sell DVDs though. They're just it's just Blu-rays right now. If they got any DVDs, it's just like overstock. So you got to go to a Millicene website, Rafe, to see their adult stuff. As long as you're of age, then you can go ahead. Uh, but for me, looking forward, it's going. I'm not a channel that's here just to show you hauls. I want to look into films. I want to look at different stuff, directors, actors. I want to be able to like talk to different people, to have people on the channel, people from other YouTube channels, people from podcasts, from directors, actors, writers, to talk about to talk about films. I want to do visual essays. I want to do more of that. I want to have more kind of like fun things on here that you can watch in bite size, and of course do these occasional live videos as well, because they do help with viewer engagement. Every once in a while, we get donations, which is wonderful. I want to thank my patrons because you guys are amazing, and you keep the channel going. You really, really do. Uh, help out so much, and get some wonderful people that's donated on here before, like George, uh, which was incredible, incredibly helped. Uh, but the most important thing that I want you guys to do right now to take from this is we're going into 2025. Things are getting pricier. Things are getting more expensive. Uh, releases are getting more and more bulky. Decide what you like. When you get something and you're not sure, maybe it's a blind buy, before you pick up the next blind buy release, watch a little bit of the one that you got. Make sure that you're not going to be like doubling in down onto things that you really don't like. Um, do you ever have a clear out things you do not I mean? Do I do like anti hauls as like as hippie as a hippie would say? Um, I would never do 80 slashers. I love my 80 slashers, but yeah, there's a few titles that are going to be leaving my collection when next time I go to Paris. I know Metaluna I think takes in titles like for store credit. And so obviously, the Cardona collection is going to be going to Paris with me next time, and I'm not a fan, as well as the Ebola syndrome collection. As Ebola syndrome, that's definitely going there as well. But uh, yeah, my shelf space is important to me. Real estate and what I want to collect, it's important. So I don't collect just collect anymore. I collect because the releases that I like. That being said, I put up the which one was it now? I'm going to check because I have so many of these coming up right now. I put up the Value Village Movie Hunt 2024. If you have not seen that, shame on you. It's a great video. And a few people have seen it, 117 people, not bad. And I put Mill Creek in 2024 over the last few days. So those have come up. We have Out and About's coming up for Sunrise Records, for Salvation Army Thrift Store, for HMV, a bunch of other things. If you're a patron member, well, you're gonna be able to see David Cronenberg tribute and a bunch of other things. So until next time, have a happy December. Enjoy your collecting. Uh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going into my 13th year of doing this, and I have been uncertain about whether I wanted to continue or not. That's been a big thing through 2024 is whether I was going to go in 2025 and keep doing this. But so far so good. Okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna go get myself some tea, play some Elden Ring, and I'll talk to you soon. So until next time, my friends, happy hunting. Check it thrifting. It's a lot of fun. It's very addictive. And for me, it's time for tea.